Okay, there. It should be able to be heard on the thing. I was doing some, um, uh, not streaming or whatever, but I was playing Destiny 2 with Raul and my other friend Van Hoser.
I'm aware because Raul sent me a clip
Ah,
while of
Hello.
you guys playing. So
ah. So,
Oh, that's- hello, Rick, and yes, Metal Heels too.
yeah. Hello,
Uh,
Fitzgerald.
of course I'm
yeah.
here. Rick just saw the Mario movie. I need to talk to him about it.
Need to talk
Oh,
to
I did not
somebody.
know.
Need to talk to somebody other than Marsupial about it.
Yes, because we said everything we needed to say about it like the night we saw it.
And of course, I still haven't seen the movie and probably never will. Again, like I said, I ain't
good
seen the
for
first
you.
movie.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna power rate the Sonic movies first. 'Cause the problem was Sonic movie came out around COVID, so I didn't really
yeah.
go out much. Oh,
Well,
but
talking of
but, the, fir- but
talking
I'm
of
probably gonna
Sonic,
watch Sonic movie first.
talking of
So
Sonic movies, number 4 is coming out for that early next year. I think it said. Did you see the preview
mm.
for that, Metal, when you went to see Mario?
I have not. The preview was not before Mario. Well, maybe it was actually. So we were running late. We missed like the first minute and a half of Mario, so we didn't see any of the previews.
Oh, okay.
Now, I know what happened in the first minute and a half. It was the exact same scene that was shown in the trailers where they go and kidnap Rosalina, so I didn't miss any context to the movie.
Yeah.
But I did miss all of the previews.
Yeah, I missed a couple minutes here and there because I had to go to the washroom because of me drinking.
Apparently, I heard they basically used Rosalina to replace Daisy for some reason. They basically
Nope.
retconned
No.
Rosalina to Daisy's sister.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No. Because Daisy even shows up in the post-credits scene. Spoiler, I guess. But, I mean, that part, everybody spoiled that on the internet the second it happened. But
post credit,
Peach has never had a sister, so none of that was ever. I mean, I guess you could retcon that she now has a sister, but they kind of just left that stuff open in the air.
Well, they made Rosalina Daisy Peach's sister for some reason.
Yes, they did. But it has nothing to do with Daisy. It did not retcon what Daisy was.
So there was a scene after. There was a scene. I saw the scene mid credits. There was a scene after all the credits.
Yeah.
Ah, crap.
I want to ask: is Mario where that deal was? Where Adventure Time got that deal? If there's a whole bunch of princesses of the kingdoms from? Was Mario the originator of that idea, and then Adventure Time just made that the joke?
I wouldn't say it's the originator, because like very classic fantasy, you would have like princesses in trouble in all kinds of different lands as like a hero travels across. But it was such an old concept that I wouldn't be surprised if Mario doing that is what inspired them particularly. But yeah, there was two credit scenes. There was the one with Bowser Jr. and Dry Bowser in the prison with the Luma from the first movie, which was just like Star Fox going home. The purpose of that was just to show that Star Fox is going back home so they can do a Star Fox movie. And they also wanted to call back to the Luma gag from the first one. The weird psychotic one who would say like really dark things.
Luma. What do you mean is Luma? Because I never played Mario.
It's the little stars that hang out with Rosalina.
Oh, I see.
They're called Luma. And then there's another one back at the spaceport with the Kiki the monkey was trying to rob somebody again, and then was immediately stopped by Daisy, showing that Daisy is probably going to be in the next Mario movie.
Okay. Well, I did not see that, so I'm sure it's on.
Well, I
YouTube.
just filled the gap in for you.
Yeah, I'd just like to see it, anyways. You know, the clip. I take I think it's on YouTube by now.
Probably.
Yeah.
I know I avoided everything. Thankfully, we went the first night, so I couldn't really be spoiled too much. But I know, like, immediately after I got back, clips like that were already all over Twitter.
Yeah. Now I know for me, I missed a couple scenes because I had to go to the washroom because of drinking water so much. One was when Bowser Jr. was, coming to take his dad away, capture his dad.
Okay.
Or just when they were starting to talk to him. So I saw part of it in the previews. Not all of it, obviously, from what I caught because I got back just at the end of that. And then I guess when they Star Fox crashed on the planet with the bees, and the huge dinosaur, or the regular T Rex instead of Yoshi.
No, those are two different planets.
Okay.
Right.
You know what?
They,
The dinosaur
they
planet
crashed
from,
onto the planet of the
Star Fox?
bee after with Bowser Jr.'s attack because they
Okay.
dropped the castle. Right.
Okay, maybe
and
I
that's
got
why
that.
like Bowser. Yeah,
Oh.
and then later they crashed on a dinosaur planet with Star Fox.
Yeah, I think I know what I was confusing was the Mario and Luigi got turned into something. I'm not going to say what.
Yeah.
And that's where I had to go out to the washroom.
Yeah. So what did you think of the movie overall, though?
I thought it was pretty good. I know you didn't really like the first one, but I did, so I'm not sure what that means.
Well, I didn't really dislike the first one either. I think overall I gave it a positive rating. It was just like I thought it was like mid or just above.
Yeah.
As far as the movie goes. I actually enjoyed this one a lot more than I enjoyed the first one.
I think if I didn't have to go to the washroom so much, I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying not to go to the washroom, but
Yeah. Nobody wants to have to take a bathroom break in the middle of a movie.
Yeah, especially 2 or 3.
Exactly.
But
Exactly. In my case, that never happens because I never eat or drink anything while I'm there because food's too expensive.
Though, it doesn't feel that expensive anymore, and it's because I don't think their prices have changed. That's the problem. Because getting like a soda, and that's usually all I ever get, is I like to have like a soda that I can just slowly sip on. I don't want to drink too much of it because I don't want to go to the bathroom, but I like to have a little something to sip on. Getting a soda there, it didn't feel horrible because it felt like the same price I spent on a soda 15 years ago. I think the reason it doesn't feel that bad to me now is because the price of things like McDonald's have gone up so much that by comparison, the movie theater seems rational.
Oh yeah. Fast food's like super expensive now. Some freaking reason.
well, there's a
So
few.
I don't even understand why.
There's a couple reasons. One is minimum wages have gone up, so that puts the prices up. And just food in general has got more expensive. So that puts the prices up as well.
Well, the other thing that puts it up is the fact that everybody is willing to get delivery these days. Right?
Yeah.
So when you see that the market is willing to spend more, then you can put your prices up, right? That's just like classic supply and demand logic. And when people were getting delivery, they were showing that they were willing to spend more. This whole process of having to increase started before COVID, but like COVID exaggerated it a lot. And now they're suffering because they went a little too hard, and now hardly anybody's going to get fast food.
Yeah, I usually when I go to McDonald's to get something, I'm getting like an extra value meal. Usually, junior chicken, or I think it's the McDouble. which fries, a drink, and that, and it's like $6, with taxes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much it is there, but because I think your
Uh,
prices, I think your prices are
I think
technically,
it'll.
I think your prices are technically a little lower, but like once you
They're
do the
lower only
convert-
because like the value of our currency's higher. If we were to translate it, it would end up coming to about the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
It
I remember Buck and I used to walk around town all the time, like just all the time. That was how we'd get him some exercise because he doesn't exercise otherwise, and we would stop at like a McDonald's, and that sounds like you're defeating the purpose of the exercise, but we wouldn't get much. We would end up getting like 2 regular, like single hamburgers each, which you burn that off on the way back home if you're walking like 10 or so miles that day.
And hello, Tim.
Now that just it used to be cheap, but it sounds expensive to get even just 2 single hamburgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I don't think you have to worry about the thing of not trying to spoil what they transferred into. That was already spoiled by Nintendo before the movie came out as well.
Oh, okay. I never saw
Yeah.
that. I never saw that one, but I do like how they incorporated a lot of stuff into it.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, it was Easter egg out the wazoo.
Yeah.
I assume that's what the first movie was. I still ain't seen the first movie, but I assume that's what it was. I mean, you got Mario Kart and you got Donkey Kong Country and all this stuff in it. So something. So I assume it was just the Easter egg movie.
There was.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
But I think there was a little bit more Easter eggs in this one. I would say. Obviously, Donkey Kong was only in one scene technically, and not really
during
related.
Yoshi's backstory.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not even a scene, a shot. Donkey Kong was in a single shot.
Now, when's the Donkey Kong movie coming out?
We don't know. They haven't talked about it.
Do they have an announcement for the Star Fox movie?
Nope. Not yet.
Well, that's assuming if he's even getting a movie. It'd probably be smart to do a Kirby movie first or something.
Well, we think they are absolutely making a Star Fox movie because from what I've heard from the insiders is that it wasn't even Nintendo's idea to put Star Fox in this movie. Illumination insisted on putting Star Fox in, and the only reason I would think that Illumination insisted on putting Star Fox in is because they're doing a Star Fox movie, so they wanted to have a setup for it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd say that too because
I'm assuming Illumination is making a Smash Bros. Universe at this point.
They kind of talked about something similar to that, like before the Mario movie, the first one even came out.
I won't be surprised. There's a Kirby movie coming very soon.
Yeah.
Pikmin showed up for a very brief shot.
I think it's something that they would. I think a Kirby movie is again something that they would have to set up. Like I know who Star Fox is, and probably a lot of gamers do.
I think everybody knows who Kirby is.
More people know Kirby than Star Fox.
Yeah,
exactly.
But even Kirby is a little bit dated at this point. I think.
No, I think it'd be fine. Because here's the thing: you don't need to set up things for kids, like for the young kids. Young kids can go to a movie not knowing anything. What you have to do is you have to make their parents want to take them. Which is why people like to use properties that the parents already know, right? Kirby was popular enough; it had its own anime, right? Hoshino Kirby, we know it as Kirby Right Back at Ya here in the West when they localized it.
Okay.
I don't think you need to do a setup for parents for Kirby. Enough parents know Kirby; they would take their kids to go see it.
Okay, I did not know that he had an anime.
Yeah, it was on.
I did, but I never.
Fox
I did, but I
Kids.
never watched it. I only seen clips.
Okay, as you were saying, Metal.
Oh, I was just saying it was on Fox Kids.
Okay. So what
It was pretty popular at the time.
Okay. In just case anybody's wondering, what I'm doing here is before I actually do.
Universal might have a piggy bank bigger than the MCU ever was.
Anyway, Rick, what are you doing?
I'm combining Prince Adam and Mario before I combine He-Man and Mario.
Okay.
Because
So
Prince
you
Adam
gotta
is He-Man.
combine like regular Mario with Prince Adam, and then you gotta combine Super Mario with He-Man.
yeah, yeah, but well, is there well, is there, I guess there is a difference.
Your
between-
combination probably wouldn't show any difference. The only real difference with Mario is size. That's it.
Yeah, and Adam gets a little bigger as He-Man too, so that's why I figured, you know. And
I
then
mean, the
it
way they
was-
draw him, maybe like Super Mario is a little rounder. He's a little more chibi, or not Super Mario. The regular Mario is a little more chibi than Super Mario. That's the only design difference.
uh,
But you could always give him like the Super Mario World cape. That's something. Or Fire Mario. You can make him Fire Mario, which was the original power up.
yeah, which I like how they did that in the movie.
I like that in both movies. Actually, I
Yeah.
think they do the power ups in general really, really well. Like every single one. Whether somebody gets like a super mushroom, like Peach got a super mushroom in that one.
Yeah.
Fire flowers, capes. They included all kinds of power ups from Super Mario World to the new Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario 3D World, all the way even the Galaxy. Obviously, they had to reference a lot of the power ups from Galaxy 1 and 2 since that was a Galaxy movie.
Yeah. I wonder what the next one will be called. Any idea what they would do for the next one?
I don't know, Super Mario Land.
No,
Yeah, but
I
is
mean,
that-
I don't know. I think he went Galaxy before he went Land, so I don't even know.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They can do it in whatever order they want.
What was it? Gonna be Paper Mario? Was that it?
Dude, I would love a Paper Mario movie if they just stuck 100% to like the plot of Paper Mario, but they wouldn't.
But they won't do
They
that.
would
They'll probably just throw in Wario and stuff.
Dude,
Yeah.
that would actually be the best one if Wario showed up in the next movie, just completely unannounced.
Oh, and that's something I really liked. How they showed all the different lands.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think my favorite part of the whole movie is very early on. I don't like that they split Mario and Peach up into two different teams. I think they should have just been one party traveling together. But because they did, they decided they needed an A plot and a B plot. There's this bit where Mario and Luigi and Yoshi are actually like running around doing Super Mario stuff to watch the kingdom while Peach is gone. And it's all stuff you expect the Mario Brothers to be doing. That was just perfect.
Yeah, I like that, and they probably it was more than just Super Mario World. It looked like Super Mario World in doing that too. All the
Yeah, they
different-
did like the little pixel map and everything, and they were going to like stages.
yeah.
They even had my favorite song in the appropriate use was the Mario Brothers 3 battle theme, which shows up when you're fighting the Hammer Brothers because they fought the Hammer Brothers.
Yeah,
I don't think there was a reference I missed.
I don't think I'm not sure whether there was any I missed either, but but
But that's actually leads to one of the reasons why I like this one more. The first one, I thought one of the biggest problems it had was that there's just so much like licensed pop music in it. And they made justifications for the ones they used. Like they used Take on Me because it came out the same year as Mario Brothers did, like Super Mario Brothers, and a couple other things. But it just didn't fit any of the scenes they used it in. It doesn't really fit the Mario world. This one, I counted 2, maybe you could technically 3 licensed songs. But the 2 that I was talking about, you don't even hear the lyrics, and they last for like 5 seconds tops. Like the scene where the penguins are dancing and then Yoshi jumps in and dances with them. It's just there for ambience. Everything else, like upwards of 90% of the movie, was just orchestrated Mario and other Nintendo songs. Like there was Star Fox music and stuff.
You came in a minute and a half late, you said. So you wouldn't have seen this one scene with the minions beforehand. They grab the hammer from like the original Donkey Kong was in the middle of the tree. Yeah. They jumped. One of the minions jumped up and grabbed it, and then it had the music from Donkey Kong playing. And
Byron, which of the since I've never seen any of the Mario movies, which Mario creature did they minion as?
They didn't really. Right, so Bowser just has his army. So all of his armies are his minions, but they have all of them. They instead of like minionizing anything, they just gave personality to Bowser's army. So you've got like Koopa Troopas, Paratroopas, Goombas, Hammer Brothers. They're just all there. Yeah. They didn't minionize them. They just let Bowser's army be Bowser's army.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised. Like they're not speaking gibberish and doing these standard slapstick routines.
No.
Oh.
Hey, Alpha and Matthew.
No, even the first one, there were only very specific criticisms that brought my review of the first one down. Like as far as it was, and I was like, if you didn't do these things, you would have had a much better movie because they did so many things right at the same time. And with this one, with Mario Galaxy, there were a lot of criticism that you could tell they listened to, especially the licensed music thing being a big criticism.
Yeah, and I guess a lot of people had that criticism for it.
Oh yeah. I was not alone there. I saw tons of people complaining about it.
Man, I mean, at first I wouldn't care about licensed music being in a movie unless it's an actual musical or something. But if it's not a musical, then why should I care? What really?
Well, it's also the other side. Like, what does this licensed music do to make the movie better, especially when we're talking about a Mario movie, and Mario has such a huge library of songs to pull from through the entire history of Mario.
From the game, so I know obviously. Same with Zelda.
And that like there's no reason to just not use that stuff, and they did a really good job because instead of going outside of Nintendo, any single time there was like a scene where maybe that environment hasn't really shown up in a Mario game, they still found a song that fit it, right? So there's an example, this was shown in the trailer, one of them anyway, where Peach has to go confront like Birdo and Wart and stuff like that. And there's like this big casino environment. There isn't really a song for casinos in Mario, but they use this nice instrumental version of Jump Up Superstar from Mario Odyssey, and it fit the environment perfectly. Like, you didn't have to go outside of Mario.
Yeah. That's something I like, too. The whole referencing Super Mario 2.
Yeah.
I mean, they could probably just use some of the Wario music. I mean, aren't there casinos in the Wario games, or what?
Yeah, I believe in Wario Land 4, there is. They could have used something like that, or they could have used stuff from like the WarioWare franchise. There's a lot more options there, but I think
Mhm.
Jump Up Superstar worked perfectly fine. Like it fit the environment. Matthew also agrees with me where he liked the second movie a lot more than the first. So, but here's my problem though. Minor criticism. I liked that I got to see the Super Mario Brothers 2 characters as well. Wart was there, Mauser was there, Birdo was there, the Ninja were there, like all these Shy Guys, bunch of enemies. But I didn't like seeing them because there was no point to that being in the movie. Like it was only there to give Peach a B plot to do on her own. It got her like information of like where is Rosalina, but that's like a horrible excuse because you could write any reason for her to get that information. It was just like a useless B plot, and because she did that, my biggest complaint with the movie, and this was something that Marsupio agreed with me too, it was too breakneck, and that was a big problem I had with the first movie. There was no time to breathe and like enjoy the atmosphere of the movie itself.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's see. Tim says super creepy O Brothers. I'm not sure
I
whether,
like that Yoshi only ever said his name or made Yoshi sounds. I don't think that needs to be the case for Yoshi. We know Yoshi understands language. Yoshi can at least write, but I think there's proof that Yoshi could talk too in Super Mario 64. But I would rather Yoshi be the way Yoshi was than them just like completely slaughtering Yoshi. So if I had to like pick a lane there, they picked the right one.
Why did he get Donald Glover to make Yoshi noises? Why could they could just got the
Who
Game
cares?
Voice
He did
actor?
a good job.
Like, that's like a waste of money.
Well, if
Yeah.
it worked, it wasn't a waste of money. And it's a big
Yeah.
name to the project, so
Except they didn't really advertise him too much.
It's really just a waste of money. It's kind of like how Invincible wastes all his money on these big name stars in it.
Yeah, I do usually prefer them to use the voice actor. Like, I slightly changed my mind on the Mario one after finding out that Charles had already planned to retire from voicing Mario before the production of the movie started. But at the same time, they could have also just used the new guy who was replacing Charles for Mario instead of bringing in Chris Pratt. I'm more mad at the
Chris
directing
Pratt
than
doesn't-
anything.
I
Because
watched the
Chris
trailer.
Pratt
Chris Pratt doesn't.
showed he could do a Mario voice in the first one during the little commercial that the Mario Brothers did. Both him and Charlie can do Mario Brothers voices. They don't let them. They even kind of made fun of the voices they did in the commercial.
But I no. That's when I first saw the trailer. He doesn't even try to do the voice correctly. So I'm like,
No, well, it's not
No,
that he
what-
doesn't try. They don't let him.
why don't they? Don't you want Mario to sound like Mario? Well, I'm confused.
Yeah, people have like this really weird idea, and they've used the worst example too. They're like, you don't want to hear Mario make that voice the entire movie. It'd be like listening to Mickey Mouse. It's like people love listening to Mickey Mouse for an entire movie. What are you talking about? But that's the attitude, you know. That's the attitude they have towards it. But no, if there's a small little commercial at the beginning of the first Mario movie that Mario and Luigi shot for their plumbing business, and in it they do Mario and Luigi voice. Like the actors that are playing, like Chris Pratt and Charlie Day, did Mario and Luigi voices, and they did some pretty good Mario and Luigi voices. And then the movie immediately makes fun of the voices they did. So I don't really blame them. I blame the director. That's what I blame. Also, Fox didn't need to be in that movie. I'm sorry, Fox just did not need to be in that movie. I liked him. I liked seeing him. I really liked his backstory part because there's like this little part where Peach and Toad meet Fox. They kind of meet him almost like meeting Han Solo, you know, like a space rogue who's going to take you to where you're going.
Yeah.
And he explains like how he got there, his backstory. It's done in this kind of like really stylized 2D animation kind of way. I thought it was great. It really does nothing for the movie.
Well, at least I'm glad that Jack Black did the Bowser voice.
Yeah,
That's all.
but here's the thing. I think Jack Black was a better Bowser in the first movie.
Yeah, he didn't sound quite as
I-
good as the first movie. I'm not sure why.
Well, it's also the way they made Bowser act in this movie, too. They made him be a little more Jack Black-y compared to the first movie where he was like purely almost Bowser the whole time.
Yeah, that might be it. They really friendized Bowser.
Yeah. He was even gonna like at one point decide to take their prison sentence and work in the honey mines so they could go on and save the universe. It's like that's not a Bowser thing to do.
Yeah. But I think that was a way to get him away from them so his son could come get them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without them knowing.
I didn't dislike Bowser Jr. as much as I thought I was going to.
So who voices Bowser Jr.?
I don't remember. But I
What
remember
celebrity
seeing the trailer,
Did they throw into the world of Bowser Jr.?
and I didn't like his voice in the trailer. And I think it was another case of I didn't think I was going to like Jack Black as Bowser in the first one after the trailer, because the trailer took like the two instances in the entire first movie where Jack Black sounded more like himself than Bowser. They took like the two worst instances for portraying him and put that in the trailer. I think they did the same thing with Bowser Jr. because he sounded fine for like most of the movie. He sounded like what I expected Bowser Jr. to sound like. Kamek was back
I
too.
just looked it up, and it's apparently Benny Safdie. Safdie. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. All I know is Kamek came back, and that was my favorite performance
Apparently
in
he's
the
an
first
open eye.
movie. I think Kamek sounded exactly like the way I always thought Kamek would have sounded in my head playing the older games. So I was glad to see him back. Yeah, and also, Rick, you know, we didn't even know it was going to be in the movie. I guess that would be a minor spoiler at this point, but you've got even more reason to use Dry Bowser's skull for Skeletor's head. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Now I gotta do this up a little bit better. But what do you think my combination looks a little bit more like Luigi, but
It does. You got to make him broader.
I was trying to use the thinner Adam, and I guess that didn't really work.
Yeah, well, make him shorter then. Just make him a shorter Adam.
Yeah. Let's see. I didn't.
There's this really cool scene at Bowser's Keep, which I liked. The Bowser planet thing that they made, the junk planet,
Yeah.
because they pulled from a few different things in the games, and their main area looked like Bowser Land from Super Mario 3D World. So I thought that was pretty cool. Which they should have had that song playing the entire time there. That sounded like a casino song, but it's a little too dark for the earlier casino scene. But because of all the lava and everything, they actually did this scene that was like Mario and Peach were going through a Bowser level in the original Mario Brothers game.
Yeah, that
And
I
they even
like.
finished it with a fight on the bridge with an axe. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, but you gotta love the Super Nintendo. The Nintendo controllers in the game or in
Yeah, yeah.
the thing, and that.
Like, it was actually like flipping the traps and stuff on. It was going back and forth from their security view that looked like the video game to the actual like 3D models doing the obstacle course.
Yeah, but you gotta love how instead of controlling Peach and Mario, he's controlling all the traps and all that. That was
Yeah.
fun. I think, yeah, I definitely think that was.
It was one of the highlights of the movie. But that was also another thing. I still need to write up my full review. I just wanted to talk to a few more people about the movie first before I do. But one of the things that got me in my short one was there were some scenes I really, really liked from this movie. But at the same time, it made me mad because I'm like, this scene should have been in the first movie. Like, them going through a Bowser castle like that should have been in the first movie.
Yeah. Although I think that they could have done that a little bit more slower pace, that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a little too rushed.
Well, they could have done a lot of things more slower paced if they didn't decide to split everybody into an A plot and a B plot.
Well, yeah, that's for sure too, but okay, so just me shrinking, I widened them well, I just, I shrunk
Yeah, that's a
them.
bit better.
And I'm
You
naming
got the
him.
nose. You got to give him a big nose. He's, Mario's being thrown in.
Oh yeah, I knew there was something that I was missing. But I'm naming this guy Prince Mardum.
Mardum.
MAR for Mario, and DAM for Adam. And then it's going to be here, Rio, he and dash HRIO, hero, almost.
Why not go with like Adamio or something like that? I don't know.
Adamio?
Yeah.
For Prince
Adario.
Adario.
They're like.
I was trying to keep. Well, I'm just trying to think of the He-Man name, because I don't want to go strictly He-Man. I was trying to split up. Mario's just Mario, right?
Yeah, Mario.
Yeah. Where He-Man is He-Man and Prince Adam, so I've got like two names to work with him and one name to work with.
Well, like Prince Adam, is He-Man. Yeah, we all know.
Everyone knows, but you know who doesn't know? The people inside Eternia, for the most part. There's a few people who
Why?
know. Not most people.
Why? Why? Because they
actually don't ever really give a good reason why. That's just the way it is.
Well,
no, because I don't even understand why he has secret identity. Because he's prince. He's royalty. He has bodyguards in there for everyone. Literally, all his friends have bodyguards or in the military. So I don't get it.
Yeah, well, if they knew, just like with Clark Kent, although it put the royal family a little bit more in danger. Not that they're not in danger to begin with.
No.
There's literally no reason. Every excuse that anybody's ever given, it's just like no reason why people don't know who he is. Just to make the show more complicated. That's it. Because it's more fun if he has a secret identity, so they can play around with it. That's the real reason.
Yeah,
because it makes no sense. It's not. Superman actually makes sense. It's just these are royalty. They have bodyguards and.
Yeah, but he didn't. they never had him have really bodyguards in any of the series.
Why does a prince?
Also,
Why
if
does the
he
why does the
becomes
royal family not
He-Man,
have bodyguards?
if he becomes He-Man, he doesn't need bodyguards anyway. You know, like
I know, but like the top of the royal family, the royal family in general, like they all have bodyguards. Why the
that typically even varies depending on what culture you are and when in history.
wait
Like
wait
women, you would
when,
typically always give guards. Maybe like if a prince was competent, he'd have like a valet. You know, but
Yeah, and
it,
they're
it really
always
just depends. It varies a lot.
and they're always showing Adam doing training, too, learning how to fight and all that too, with Tila. And the closest bodyguard he has is technically Tila.
Yeah, and also like Man at Arms looks after him when he's not busy doing
Yeah.
war stuff. Yeah, the real thing too, like I get their in-world reason. Adam's still very young, you know, like the crown wouldn't want him doing things. And that would make sense if he was still just Adam and he was just like running around masquerading as a hero. But like the second he becomes He-Man, all that gets like thrown out the window, realistically speaking. Well, who's going to bodyguard the strongest guy in the world?
Yeah, well, he does need that little bit of time to change too. So
Yeah, but that's only because he chooses to go back to being Adam. Realistically, he could just be He-Man all the time.
yeah, I think they have explored that. I believe more in the comics. Before I think it was in the comics. I forget where, but I think I've seen that explored. I think the 2002 might have explained it a little bit.
I love the 2002 one though, because probably what you're pulling from a little bit when you said you were going to make the skinnier one. I like that he is physically different from He-Man, because in the original cartoon, the only thing that's really different is the clothes they wear. He's got like the same build because they rotoscoped him over the exact same actor. And it's like, how would nobody in the world tell that this is the same person? But at least in like the 2002 reboot, you're like, okay, they're completely different build. Unless they knew about a magical transformation, I could totally see people not putting two and two together that these are the same people.
Exactly. How he suddenly a bit big and muscular today and not muscular tomorrow? Exactly. I get.
They Shazam him. I love the 2002 cartoon, by the way.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the few good reboots of an old show.
The other good one I thought the Thundercat reboot in 2011.
I hated the Thundercat one.
Okay, well, I thought it was pretty good. It's better than a lot of other ones, but
I think it had good ideas. I think it failed to understand the Thundercats. Definitely, though, by comparison, it is not the worst Thundercats show. Given the fact that Thundercats Roar exists.
The Thundercats Roar is just Teen Titans Go playing Thundercats. I don't know why that show existed. I don't even understand. Like, who thought that was a good idea? I guess
probably the person who marketed Teen Titans Go thought it was a good idea.
Let's just do the same thing again with Thundercats.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was the era. Do all this Steven Universe.
I think Teen Titans Go was still, but I understand how the hell is that going on for this many years.
Well, I didn't quite catch all that, Fitzjoseph.
I didn't either.
I said, I don't know how the hell Teen Titans Go is still going. Like,
well, I don't think it's going as a. Is it still airing, or like, are they still making new episodes? I don't think they're still making new episodes, but it could be wrong. Anybody know if they're still making new episodes?
I don't know if they're making new episodes. I do know that it actually is extremely popular. Now, there's certain parts about its viewing that is cyclical and not completely accurate. But before they started making it the only thing that was airing on Cartoon Network, which greatly increased its viewership because it was the only thing on the channel for most of the day, it was still already extremely popular. The movie that they
Still
did,
going.
Teen Titans Go to the movie, was also really, really popular. So kids did like the show a lot, but there was a lot of just like really bad management of Cartoon Network that ended up leading it being the only thing on the network, given that
But
like
what,
it appeared to be the only thing catching audience retention.
because I'm almost twice the age of when I first saw it, and even then I thought it was bad back then. So
Yeah. Well, I'm not probably twice the age, but I saw it and I was not impressed. But heck,
I think there's some good jokes in it. I just don't like that it's Teen Titans, right? Which you can't say the same about Thundercats Roar. If you took the Thundercats out of that show, it wouldn't even be funny. They did not have the same level of like talent working on that show as Teen Titans Go. I think Teen Titans Go would be fine if you just completely stripped anything DC out of it and just made it an original show with original characters.
yeah. And again, I probably wouldn't have minded it so much, although I'm really not into that type of show of Teen Titans Go. But it like you said, it's not Teen Titans, so it's like.
Because at least the original series that it was jumping off of, while it did make a lot of changes, did pretty much adapt like the first 2 volumes of Teen Titans, the new Teen Titans from like 1980. It included both like the Brother Blood arc and the Trigon arc. Not necessarily all in the right order, but it did cover most of the stuff in there, and then did some of its original stuff in between as well. Which is honestly more than you could ask for, because most of the time, outside of a one-off movie, when it comes to like DC comics and stuff, almost nobody adapts any storyline directly from the comics.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing or somewhere in between.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends who was trying to adapt it, right? Like, they could completely slaughter it, and then you're like, why did that guy get to adapt it?
Well, it's just like with when they tried to adapt, Dark Phoenix and all that. Phoenix in the X-Men movies. All the time, they ruined it. They did it twice and they ruined
Every time.
it.
But that's because that storyline only works in a serialized medium, which movies are not. So you can only do that like a TV show.
Movies are technically serialized medium
Or they can
if you're
be.
successful. Right. Well, the Harry Potter movies are a serialized medium. They just cover the entire books one after each other, and they pick up right after the summer, right?
Yes, when you only need a bunch of episodes in order to cover something like the Dark Phoenix saga.
Dark Phoenix you could do in a good trilogy, but you have to set out to do it in a good trilogy. Like, that has to be your goal from the beginning.
Exactly. Like, but it's best just do that in a TV show, which they won't do for something like that. At least not for the main X-Men characters. They did TV shows for like Legion, and like I remember that show was thing.
Hey,
well, they kind of did Phoenix in the old X-Men cartoon show.
Yeah,
I don't think they did it right there either, but it's definitely better than any movie you tried to do it.
X-Men 97, or not X-Men 97, but the one from the 90s.
The original one that X-Men 97 is a sequel to.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't read the original story, but I think they did it pretty good. The thing is, too,
they made it more family friendly.
Yeah.
Of course, because it's the 90s.
But the
Because
problem,
the original Dark Phoenix arc, if you go, it was a very sexy comic.
I mean, obviously, they had an issue with Mesmo tried to sexually
Yeah.
assault Phoenix and then got killed. Well, something. I forgot what happened. It's been so long. So I did read some of that, by the way. But I just never liked X-Men comics, so that's why it kind of fades from my memory.
I like the original X-Men run.
Not
That's about it.
Not Chris Claremont like the old Stan Lee, Jack Kirby stuff.
Yes, not Claremont. I mean, there's some cool stuff that Claremont does. You know, I get why people like Claremont. That was just never my cup of tea.
I mean, I never read the original Stan Lee, Jack Kirby stuff. I read some of the early Claremont stuff, and all just fade. Most of it just fades my memory, except the stuff for Colossus. That kind of sticks more. But I honestly just wish the whole comic was about Colossus.
Yeah. I think during Claremont stuff, I prefer more of the spin-offs and side stories to the main X-Men stuff at that time. Like, I'm not a super big fan of Wolverine as a standalone character. I like him in the X-Men, but I'm not super big on him as a standalone. But there's some like really fun Wolverine side stuff at that time. There's some really fun Gambit side stuff, and Gambit's one of my favorite characters, so obviously I'm going to cling on to that. But there's some fun side stuff going on. I don't really care for oh my god, what is that one club? I can't remember the name.
Hellfire Club.
The Hellfire Club. I never cared for anything involving the Hellfire Club, and like Claremont was really fixed on having that involved in like everything.
So where exactly is the Hellfire Club? I did read that about issue what they was in it, but I kind of forgot about it.
It's just a bunch of pompous jerks.
But I think that was like a bunch of like a sex club full of squirrels. I don't get it.
Yeah, they are very much like one of those high society, kind of almost like a kink club, but without going all the way to being a kink club.
Yeah, they're almost like a Skull and Bones or whatever type club,
Mhm.
you know, secret society club.
Yeah, he just made them as sexy as possible. They're like, there's almost like the Grove. Do you know about the Grove where like everybody meets in like California, off in the middle of the woods, right? They're like the Grove, but if the Grove was like the Playboy Mansion.
How's that an interesting concept of characters to explore?
Because
Maybe
people
like
sexy characters. That's why they did it.
yeah, that's part of the reason why I didn't like those old Chris Claremont X-Men comics. I was just so uninterested about what was happening because it was like this, like the only character I found kind of interesting was Colossus, and I yeah, it's like a lot of these characters just don't do anything with. I remember like the Native American died almost immediately.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody
What's
has
that?
characters that they, so we say, relate to a little bit more than others.
No, and then I found that Colossus is just the most interesting character to follow. Most of the characters were not interesting to follow.
Piotr's pretty cool.
No.
I think in any run,
Yeah.
Piotr's pretty cool.
But I just wish the comic was about that guy. And maybe
Yeah.
Nightcrawler. But
Yeah. Well, you're the one that liked him. There's other people that liked the other ones, you know, so. It is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, like
again,
I've always liked Kurt.
That's why I feel like I just rather read Hellboy and I probably should read BRPD over X-Men any day.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's what you should do. Don't worry about X-Men back then. It's not your thing. Read Hellboy or whatever comic that you like.
I think I like Nightcrawler more the more they play into like him being Catholic.
Yeah, I like
which
that.
I think is one of the reasons why I just cannot stand modern Nightcrawler. Because he's like nothing like his old self.
The modern day Nightcrawler, he gave up Christianity, he gave up Jesus, and now worships the Legion. That's part of the core arc. He's no longer Christian. He worships the Legion now. Something.
Catholic Nightcrawler or bust. That's my line.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be the Christian mutant who looks like a demon. That was the point.
Yeah, which I like the irony of that for sure. I really like the episode with in the X-Men '90s series with him and Wolverine.
hmm
Well, I wonder why did Chris Claremont just introduce a whole bunch of new characters out the bat, and just reveal that Professor X just had all these people on the side that we didn't know about until just now. Like just introduce a whole bunch of new characters.
Because if
Right
you introduce new characters and they become popular, you get royalties for them indefinitely.
But that's just why Chris Claremont decided this is a whole new bunch of new characters off the bat.
Yeah,
Like he was not interested. Like
that's
he
why
was not
everybody
interested.
introduces new characters.
No. He wasn't interested in playing with any of the old X-Men characters except for Cyclops. It seemed like.
Well, I think
like
it's
Iceman
also that it was probably what Metal said, along with probably some sort of research that they had done about when they made them. You know, the comics, how well they did or whatever. You know, what went over, what didn't.
Because read those old the old early Chris Claremont stuff. Iceman just kind of get phased out. Same with Angel. Like what do they do?
Well, I can't say I haven't read a lot of 60s X-Men.
No, I'm talking about 80s X-Men. Talking about when Chris Claremont came in. Like they phased those two characters out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they phased out Beast. Did they phase out Beast or not? Not sure.
They phased him out until he became Blue and Hairy. Then he became
Even a lot of the characters that got phased out, they did get worked back in eventually.
Yeah.
Listen, I think we just need to be really stubborn, and we need to all go back to calling Jean Grey Marvel Girl.
Yeah.
I mean, Jean Grey is just Jean Grey. It's just been Jean Grey for.
That's why I think we should be stubborn about it.
Well,
Phoenix.
she's either Jean Grey or Phoenix. You know, and you know that's like going away from that. I think was stupid. You know, they're Marvel comics. Why not keep her calling her Marvel Girl? You know,
I mean, the thing is, X-Men don't have secret identities. They're not even really saviors of humanity. They're just a political group that polices other.
They're more like the equivalent of like a military code name than anything, like a call name over the radio.
Yeah, but at the same time, a lot of people do not know who all those characters are. Nobody knows who.
Well, they live in a mansion out in the middle of nowhere. Who's supposed to know who?
Yeah, true.
Well, in the universe, they're more like X-Men, more like a political group that polices mutants. They're not really out there fighting crime or trying to even. They're just a political relations party. Apparently,
They're just trying to keep like the view of mutants as positive as possible for their own self-interest. You know, it's kind of like
exactly.
The government was like, listen, you can either create your own ratings board for video games or we can start rating your video games. They're like, no, we'll make our own ratings board.
Like imagine being a mutant, just being a mutant in the Marvel universe, and you decide I'm just going to be a villain today. Well, the X-Men will beat you up because you making the mutants look bad. So that's what the X-Men do.
Yeah, well, it was Professor Xavier decided, to do that, because he knew Magneto's, thing, wow, whatchamacallit.
Anyway, it's dinner time, so I'm gonna go. I'll catch you guys later.
Goodbye, Metal.
Okay, later, Metal. Maybe see if you get done and come back.
yeah, but I never liked the old X Men comics. I did really like the old Silver Age Daredevil comics that I borrowed from the library once. Because a lot of my comic book experience as a teenager was just borrowing comics from the library.
Yeah.
I did like the old Silver Age Daredevil, which is really just Spider Man. Even at that time, I knew it. Stan Lee was just recycling Spider Man again. He created Daredevil. A lot of this stuff is just recycled Spider Man. He's a lawyer this time.
Yeah.
So he drew Mario and Prince Adam fused together, which
Yeah.
it does look okay for the most part. Don't seem to have much issue with.
Okay, I think I got all my stuff. To take out the older stuff. There. So that's a Mario Prince Mardam, or maybe we can change the name. I don't know. we do need to color them at some point, but we're not going to do that. I'm not sure whether we'll have time to finish it, but we do want to start our actual He-Man Mario crossover. So, let's see. We need a new thing here. Okay, so let's see. We want. I think what we want is him holding up the sword. So we're gonna have to. There's the sword. His hands here. The sword's gonna come up here. We're gonna have to make this a little bigger. Just a little this way. There we go. Okay, so that down. Now we're definitely really gonna have to figure out a way to make this look different. So, well, we want more really big buff He-Man body. And so There we go. Right, I'm looking over this way. And then we want the sword up here.
Now, people do like, apparently do like my the videos on my second channel, my channel associated with my pen name, but it's just not getting a lot of clicks. People do
Oh.
like the action videos themselves, it's not a lot of clicks.
Oh, that's
So-
good.
Now I do get like 50 views at least a lot of times, or at least double digits most of the time.
Oh, that's good.
That do sometimes get 100. I have reached over 100 in some cases.
Oh,
So
that's
it's just
good.
inconsistent.
Okay, so we want to add another layer of case. Okay, so now trying to combine He-Man and Mario. This
If
is
anyone in commenting in the chat, I can't see because
no, the last person to say something was Outcast, and he just said, "Hi, everyone." Okay, so I think I want He-Man's breastplate here. Okay, so now let's do what we want from here. We did the suspenders, well, sort of, from Mario. Outcast says he's still here. We did the suspenders from Mario. He-Man doesn't have really. Let's check the. This is 2002 version. Yeah, he just has the bracelets, but we're gonna give him the Mario gloves. And I think we'll give him the bracers too. If He-Man touched on. Maybe what we'll do is we'll make this pants. Give him Mario's big shoes. It's gonna look a little bit like the Hetero, the new adventures of He-Man. He-Man. Oh, we can give him He-Man's belt thing here. I like the stylized H from the 2002 He-Man. Actually, we'll bring this down like that. I like a lot of the stylization in the He-Man 2002. I'm not sure they'd call it stylization though. There we go. Circles on the. No, I don't. Unfortunately, Mario's always wearing his hat. Is there anything iconic about him when he's not wearing his hat? I think what we're gonna do for the sword. There's something different there. Is what we'll do is we'll have the stem of a mushroom, and then we'll make it big and round like a mushroom there, and then we'll bring that. Trying to get the original sword. Yeah, we want that big and round, and then we'll have. We'll have the sword come off like this. I'm gonna have to straighten all that up later. That is a real mess up there.
I'm probably going to I'm going to jump off stream temporarily, because I'm going to share the stream out to some people. No, hold on.
Uh-huh. So, you know what? Maybe what I'll do is I'll give him Mario's hair here. Get that Mario nose back in there. As much as. Oh, you know. There we go. Not sure what else I can do to give him that little bit of Mario more look. Mario's costume, because Mario doesn't have a lot to his costume. He's got the big white gloves, which really makes no sense being a plumber. White gloves. And we're gonna keep the pants.
I think I really only shared it with one other person. So
That's all right. Okay, so let's see.
by the way, the Vomitor has discussion with people people about Made in Abyss because a lot of people just don't want to watch that show because because it says all about kitty torture. I'm like, I'm not sure because the main characters are children, and the premise that they go into a giant supernaturally cursed pit to fight monsters and psychopaths. So,
okay, what show is this?
Made in Abyss, one of my favorite animes.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't
No,
know.
and the premise. I mean, the premise is that a bunch of little kids go down a supernaturally cursed pit to fight a bunch of fight a bunch of fantastical creatures and and there's also these psychopaths down there as well. And I'm it's like, but it's like I have no, I mean, but people keep be saying that it's a show all about kitty torture. I'm like, to make them, I mean, yeah, children get mutilated, but what do you expect from the premise about them fighting creatures and stuff and fighting uh fighting some crazed lunatics down in the supernatural cursed pit? We expect is going to happen. Of course, children are going to get mutilated and stuff's going to happen because they show children being experimented on in graphic detail by some of the mad scientist villains. And I'm like, yeah. Like a lot of this stuff just comes with the territory, with the premise. It's not so much about children being tortured as the child mutilation just comes with the premise. But even then, it's not all doom and gloom. The main character is super optimistic, so I'm like,
yeah. Huh?
Like if you took Dead Rising and made the main characters children, would that make the game more horrific? I don't know.
Well, yes and no, because a lot of people don't like to see kids suffer. So that in itself, it can make people think it is more horrific, because you have kids suffering.
Yes, but yeah, exactly. Like I don't get it. So some people refuse to watch the show because of that. Like I don't get it. This is not any this is not any worse than what you would see in than what you would see in Like, I don't get it.
Well, like I said, people don't like to see kids. Most people don't like to see kids suffer in any way, shape, or form. So, is it bad that adults suffer in that same way? No. Or is it good that adults suffer in that same way? No. But people, tend to don't like it less with kids. So
Mm.
it's bad both ways, but people just seem to say it's worse when it's kids. And is it? Maybe, I'm not sure. Because there's kids. Most kids are quote unquote innocent, innocent about them, and that's in where that you'd be seeing that because most people think of kids as more innocent, and thus that sort of stuff shouldn't be done to them.
But yeah, I know, I'm supposed, I'm supposed to be, like a lot of people can't stomach the fact that you have a villain that like kills kids. I'm like, yeah,
Well, yeah,
like because they show it in graphic detail. I'm like, we're like, yeah, okay, I'm not surprised that he kills kids. It's antagonist. Like, what the hell?
yeah, he's a villain.
But,
Villains do bad things.
like Bondrew, you drew him once on the phone. Like,
No. Yeah.
but on this very channel, you drew him once.
Yeah, okay, well. Cool, I guess. I'm not sure. It's just like I said, it's. People have what they think should be done and shouldn't be done with kids. And
And it's funny. Wait, hold on. I gotta drink some water.
Cat says you can have a villain that kills kids, but you don't necessarily have to show it. You can just imply it.
So no, the main abyss shows it. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think he gets that. He's just saying that you can possibly do it without showing it and just imply it. But people probably wouldn't like that either.
But also you have the main characters are kids and you fight creatures down there and they get hurt. But I'm like, okay, I'm not surprised that. Not surprised. Like these things don't surprise me here.
Well, they're in the middle of a battle. Yeah, they would definitely they get hurt. But is it showing him doing stuff beyond killing? Are they showing the villain actually killing the kids, or just implying it?
Yes. No. They actually showing graphic detail of him killing other children and slicing them up, and all that stuff. Like this graphic detail. But again, it's like I'm not too horrified by this or anything like that. I mean, you're supposed to be to the extent the villains, but at the same time, like the same stuff happens in like a Resident Evil game. So I'm like, okay, but they're just happening to kids.
Yeah, well, like I said, most people, because of the innocence of kids, they have. It's like if you go into a prison, right? And you are in there for having hurt kids. You got to watch out because you're going to be. There's going to be the other prisoners are going to want to harm you.
Of course. And it's strange because one of the people who I messaged on and off again, who says they will never watch this show because of that. is also a fan of gushing over magical girls. And the reason why that's funny is because Gushing Over Magical Girls is a show where the main character is a lesbian serial rapist who has it's a 14-year-old, but she has like a 9-year-old sidekick who's also a sex offender as well. And it's basically just kind of erotica, just full on porn. I mean, half every episode's a sex scene.
Yeah, well, like I said,
But if how can you be a fan of dads and that and when what's the main character just the sex offender main character sidekick is also a child is a child is a the sidekick is a child and she's also a sex offender. How can you be a fan of that and but not be fine with kids being mutilated by evil mad scientist serial killer or something?
like I said,
Especially since
I like I said, I can see the differentiate. Like the one is one. Well, 14-year-old is still a kid, but she's out.
no, she has a 9-year-old sidekick who is
Yeah,
also a rapist. Well, and then that show is
yeah,
basically porn. Gushing over magical girls.
yeah. Well, then it's because it's porn.
No,
Like yeah,
but
obviously, they don't like a lot of people doing certain things to kids and younger underage kids, sexual stuff.
mm, that one of the first people I messaged is fine with that show, but won't stomach watching Made in Abyss because there's children getting hurt from monsters and villains.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay,
I know it
not
seems
like I don't
like
get it.
it probably is a double standard, but everybody has their breaking point or
Like
their
you're fine with a little girl committing sexual assault, but a little girl being killed is is something you're not fine with. Like, huh?
yeah. I can't tell you. I don't know what goes through the person's head.
Well, what's anybody in the chat want to add time in on this?
Let's see. Outcast just said the youngest kid that gets killed in it actually in it in the actual movies they don't show you when he gets killed. They show when he gets taken and he's in pain, but it doesn't show you how he kills him. But anything maybe a little bit better to talk about than that series?
Uh, no, 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 no.
Outcast, have you seen the
Um,
Mario movie yet? I went and saw it today. Did you see my Mario Prince Adam mashup that I did? It's me, Mario. It's me, Hero. Let's... Hero. Okay, says, no, I've not seen the movie. My kids are going to watch it today. And I did see your Prince Adam Mario mashup. I just wasn't talking in the chat. Okay. Hero. Okay, now I gotta try and figure out how to do Mario shoes. Although I still need to do the sword. But... There we go. I think that looks all right. Let's see whether we can bring that in.
Yeah. Um.
There we go. There is shoe. Although that shoe needs to be done a little bit better. But now we gotta do the sword, the hand and the sword. Okay, so gonna have the sword. Okay, we're gonna have big mushroom. I'm gonna draw out the sword here. I'll just round it here like this. And then we'll have the stem. What would be the stem? Right here. And we're gonna add the part for He-Man's sword, the handle, the bottom of the hilt, I think it is. Yeah, and then there's this little bubble part here. Okay, so I think I want to rotate this a little. Okay, did I? Okay, apply transformation. No. Okay, so let's see. We want to take this part, cut that, put that on another layer. Then we're going to take the hand here. Put it below there. Okay, so I think we have everything. Okay, transform, rotate. We're gonna rotate that just slightly.
Looking good. Look good so far.
Moving that up a little bit. Okay, so. You know what? Grab this part here. We're gonna move it down just slightly, cause let's go that. We want that there. So we're gonna grab that part there, and we're gonna move it down a little bit more so the handle is a little longer. Then we will attach them. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna have one of the ball type things that are on. Are you all right there, Fitzjoseph?
No, just eating Butterfinger.
Oh, okay. Sounds like somebody's torturing her or something.
No.
hate when I putting these down a little. There we go. Let's bring that more up that way. Okay, so we still need to put the hand on there. But we're gonna take these bottom layers off so we can see a little bit more clearly. And I'm gonna do this right here. Okay, so you know what? I think we're gonna have to make the canvas a little bit bigger. Okay. Those feet are wrong. The angle. You can see that. We want to move this up there, and then we want here, so we can have him just trying to let's see, I think we're gonna rotate this again. Cancel. Rotate. Rotate. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we'll take that out there. You're not going to be able to see it because of his hand. And then you'll be able to see that there. Oh, there we go. And let's
Ah.
Oh, I did that wrong. Jeez. Okay, that needs to be there, and that needs to be there. And okay, then we need to take that out there. Here, let's go in here. Let's. There we go. And we'll make that a little bigger. There we go. I think. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, hands done. So you finished the artwork of uh I don't know what you call this guy. I don't know. No.
Hirito. Take the RIO. Take the he from He-Man and the RIO from.
Hirio. Hirio. That's actually pretty cool. Hirio.
Hey, it's on Eternia. How you say hero? You know.
Hirio.
Of course, I can do a little. Since I extended the sword, I can. We can do a little bit more to the sword here if we want. Bring it up a little higher. And with the sword, I tried to do a mushroom, create a mushroom, one of the mushrooms, power ups, and combine it with the sword. So the mushroom is sort of the handle, but I tried to make the stem of the mushroom a little bit like He-Man's hilt for his sword. So that mushroom would be flat, or almost flat, might be like an inch thick or half an inch thick or whatever. So hopefully I'll get to
By the way, I'm
color.
trying. I'm let me see. I'm going to try to run a D&D 3.5 game on my channel.
Okay.
This sometime this summer or this fall. Probably this fall.
Okay. I could be possibly interested. Oh, and I'm not sure whether you've seen, but I'm not sure what it is, what the program is called. There's some sort of one that you can do it. It'll create a D&D campaign for you and run it. Some program I saw it on.
I don't care about AI stuff. I just want to run a game with other players. Well, players. I'm going to be GM.
Yeah, I have.
No, I'm going to be GM. We have a dice roller, and we're going to stream it. It's a dice roller, and we're just going to just roll. Then you're going to have like the players going to have their character sheets, and I'm just going to tell them the story. It's going. There's not gonna be no AI at all. It's like I don't get what the point. What the point of these large language models? I don't even use them anything. It's just a
Yeah,
waste of processing power.
this is called Dungeons Deep. I'm not sure whether anybody else has heard of it, what they think of it.
Right? Just a waste of processing power. That's what
I'm just gonna put the
like
link
just
to it.
look at that awful AI animated series called I said Fruit Love Island. I guess what it's called. The characters do not stay consistent in their appearance at all because it's AI. So that's animated with Sora when that was active, but but it was popular on TikTok. Just recently became popular, but for some reason, even though it's awful. But Sora is no longer a thing now, so they can't make any new episodes.
Well, I couldn't put a link to it in the Yahoo chat, but I put a link to it in my Discord
It
chat.
would have been. It'll be fine if they finally just animate that themselves, but the characters models does not stay consistent at all because it's AI
Yeah,
and
I don't think that.
actual
Go ahead.
the actual premise of the show is just a horny reality TV show, but it's not reality. It's animated, so
Yeah.
they just kind of dumb.
Well, from what I get from this, it's just it's not showing much animation. It's just from a little bit of a commercial that I saw. You have like your icon or whatever. That's what it shows you the map or whatever. You go to whatever, and I guess it will take you into the turn-based stuff to fight. You roll the dice and all that electronically. I don't know
Just have to
whether it
find
be.
the perfect. Well, I got to find a perfect website to play the game on 3.5 on, which shouldn't be that hard. There are many dice rollers.
Yeah, well, a good one to use is one that Meadows uses. We've done Roll20. It's called.
Yeah, I know about Roll20 already.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
I guess I should be going now.
Yeah, we're coming up to that time. Anything that you want to promote before you leave?
No, as usual, I got nothing. I'm probably not gonna have anything, nothing until like this summer.
Oh,
So
yeah, well, I'm still gonna ask. It's as far as I'm concerned, it's a polite thing to do. So okay. Well, thanks for coming on, Metal. Thanks for coming on. If you're still listening, thanks for everybody in the chat for coming by. It was great having everybody here talking. It was good. I hope you like my renditions of Prince Adam and Mario together, and He-Man and Mario together. Hopefully, yeah, you'll like it. Lord of Fire. It's me, Lord Bra. I have also had a new PFP and a name. What do you think? Also, It's been a while since I watched his streams. Yeah. Cool, I guess. For your Lord of Fire. So next week, we're probably going to do Battle Cat, Cringer, and Yoshi. That should be an interesting mashup. And maybe we'll do another character depending on what we get into. Technically, we really got 2 characters done tonight. I'm not sure whether we'll do 2 different ones for Battle Cat and Cringer, or whether we'll just do Battle Cat and Yoshi, or whether we'll do Yoshi and Cringer as well. Because those are a little bit more similar. The only difference, of course, between Cringer and Battle Cat is size and attitude. And the armor, of course. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll see everybody hopefully tomorrow night when we're doing either independent character or public domain. And unless somebody has somebody's character that I want me to do, I probably will be doing a public domain. So we'll catch y'all later. Bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and wonderful day, night, whatever it might be for you.